Okay, what I got here is a Scotch. They made these for a few years. It was a subsidiary of John Deere, supposedly, and I think they were sold at Home Depot and don't know where else. Kohler Command engine, so that's pretty good. But the problem that these have, this one is the Hydrostatic, which is variable speed. These are known for bad hydrostatic transmissions. They just don't last very long, and once they do, it's usually the death of the machine because of the expense involved in pulling the whole transmission, rebuilding it, replacing it. If you're going to replace it, the one you're replacing it with is probably just as bad as the one you have, because they're all kind of light duty, or I don't know why they didn't last, but they just didn't. You know, I think the hydrostatic should last the life of the machine, but apparently they went a little light duty on this particular model. So we're going to see what it takes to pull it out and do the repairs. I've tried repairing it once before with a big fail, so I'm going to give it another attempt with some different parts. And just to explain, when I say the hydrostatic transmission fails, basically they stop, you get no power out of it. If you were to go up a hill or do anything stressful for the machine, it just won't. So let me just try to start it up here. As you can see, it's just about useless. So on this machine, I just took a big timber, put it underneath, lifted up the machine onto the timber just to get the wheels off the ground. And then we're going to start by getting the wheels off of here. These wheels are just held on by a simple clip. This little piece of rubber, mine's got a split in it already, so it comes off easy. Been off before. And then other than that, you just got this clip. You got to just take off this E-clip, C-clip, whatever you call it. Things that look like that. I guess that's an E washer. And the wheels should slide off. Get yourself here. Should pull straight out. Now when I did that, one thing to watch is the key. There's a keyway on the shaft cut in there. This keyway fits in there and makes sure your tire doesn't spin. The tire has a matching, the hub has another slot in it, and that locks them together. So if you lose this in the lawn, you're going to have to run to the store and find another one if you can't find it. So try to make sure you got that. This gives us a lot better access to the hardware we're going to have to get at to remove this. You could leave them on, but just a much better idea. So I'll take the wheel off the other side, and I'll get back to you. Okay, now I got both wheels removed. I'm on the right side of the tractor as you're sitting on it, and the first thing we want to do down here is remove the electrical connector for, I assume that's the neutral safety switch. So there's one connector, one electrical connector I think is all we're going to have on this. And then we got to remove the linkage. I think on this one we take this bolt this nut off here, and that gets the linkage that stays with the tractor free from the part that we're going to be taking out. That nut right there. So to get this nut off, you need to hold it in the back with a 7/16. There's a couple flats on that. You can see where this wrench is going up to, the back. There's a couple of flats on that, and then you just turn this nut off. Okay, and then just push the shaft back through so it drops down wherever it wants to lay. And then we're going to go for the brackets. There's a nut and bolt on each side here. A bolt with the nut on it. One bracket on this side of the tractor, one bracket on the other. We'll do the fronts. Okay, got the bolts out for the front bracket on the left and the right side. I'm now on the left side, and we're going to take off the brake. There's a clip here for the brakes. Pull that out. Try to do it with one hand and a camera. Not so easy. Okay, trial 2. I got to get out this clip for the brakes. Just slide it backwards, pops right out. Push that through so it doesn't get caught when you go to remove it. Now next, we're going to push the brake pedal in to untension the belt. So I'm going to push that in, and down in the operator station on this one is where the parking brake thing is. That'll release the tension on the belt, I believe, on this model, because the belt goes around the pulley, the cooling fan right there. Next thing we want to do is take off 1, 2, on the other side 3, 4. That's the main transmission mount, and then we'll see what else is attached. Okay, I'm back here on the right side of the tractor, and you can see I got the nuts off. When I took the nut off, that one fell through. These ones, if you wiggle it around a little bit, see that it'll fall right out. And there's your hydrostatic transmission. Now that one came out pretty easy. The other thing, mine just happened to fall forward and come out the right way, but this rod here with the little bend in the end, that goes through the little hole right here. So if you were to need to, you can see here the graph, if you need to freewheel this thing, you can pull it out and it will release this hydrostatic transmission, so you can pull it if you need to move it with the engine off. So here's our Tuff torque transmission, and we'll do some opening the case next. Just a side note on this transmission, one of the repairs I did originally on it was replace this shaft and this pulley sheave, whatever you want to call it. The problem is they don't put it on there very tight. It's got a little wiggle, even the brand new one. And I think that leads to a lot of rocking, and what had happened on the old one was the splines that are on the shaft, and the splines wore out a little, because that's hardened steel, and the pulley wore out almost completely. So if you were to put power to this pulley, it wouldn't turn the shaft. As soon as the going got hard, it would this would spin, the shaft would stay right where it was at, or slip a little and make some crazy noise. So that's the initial repair I did on it, but that obviously wasn't all the problem, because there's something internally wrong